Your true self is the silent ever-present consciousness or awareness that notices everything, but it is not those things. Your human body is not it. Neither is your mind and its thoughts. Neither is it your feelings. It is not anything that can be observed. Rather, it is the observer. That is your true self. All those things that can be observed in this movie of life is not your true self. Your true self is the screen onto which the movie is projected. The screen is aware of all the movies and their contents. The movie may be a horror movie, but the screen does not feel horror. The movie may be a sad movie, but the screen does not feel sad. The movie may be a happy movie, but the screen does not feel happy. It just observes and is aware of everything that is going on without being affected by the contents of the movies. It exists silently in serenity, untroubled, untouched and indestructible. How would we look for such a self? We are a character in the movie. It is not possible for a character in the movie to be able to see the screen. We only see objects in that movie, our human body, other people, our feelings, thoughts, dreams, physical objects, etc. If we try to identify our true self, all we will ever see are objects. We never see the screen. If we try to deduce what our true self is, we see our thoughts, which are objects. That is not our true self. Our true self is that which notices those thoughts, and it does not have a self-identity. We may try in vain to identify our true self and end up with worries and frustration. But those mental worries and frustration are identified with our ego, which is not our true self. Our true self is that which is observing those worries and frustrations, and it does not identify with any self. We cannot see our true self directly because all we ever see are objects in this movie of life. We can only infer by way of elimination of observed objects. When we have thoughts, and we observe them, they are not our true self. We may feel frustrated, we observe that frustration, and that is not our true self. We may feel pain, we observe that pain, and that is not our true self. Anything observable is not our true self. Our true self is the silent observer. By eliminating the possibilities of what our true self can be in this way, it becomes clearer to our mind that what is left is our true self. The more we practice this, the clearer a picture what our true self is in our mind. We usually identify our daily frustrations and happiness with our egoic self. This egoic self can be a source of constant pain. If we begin to identify our daily experiences with our true self, we disassociate all the pain and frustration from ourselves, because the pain and frustrations belong to the egoic self, which is not our true self. If we identify with our true self, we are free from pain and frustration, and we live in silent serenity.